Hello, Tangan. Hello, Mr. Kaisan. Hi. Be note. Oh, I don't think you guys know this, but when you start recording in Teams, it also starts recording a transcription as well. Okay, guys. Okay, we've got about 30 seconds to start. Hi, Fang Mai. Start turning on those cameras, please. And if we could start looking at my slides. Today, I am going to need, as I explained as well to you yesterday, today is like the review and it is for us to participate and contribute. So I will just ask you to now, whilst I take the attendance, to make sure that we have our notes, okay? So our notes from this week, our listening notes that we've carried out, as well as our reading materials as well, as it will contribute towards our DOKs, okay? But again, it's that same question, and I want to see if your response or opinions based on the knowledge that you've acquired has changed or not. And that is exactly the one question that's on the screen right now. Do you agree with the involvement of Asia in World War I? You can write your answer in the meeting chat, yes or no, but please be ready to try and contribute as well to the class. Okay, attendance now, guys. Hi, Koi. Hello, Kami. Hello, Mr. Baker. Okay, attendance now. Hello, Vorha Ann. Hi. Tuan Ann. Good morning, Tuan Ann. Okay, Tangan, hello. I didn't hear you, Tangan. Hear me? I can hear you now. Hi. Guys, can we start responding now, please? There's no need to be waiting. You should be responding to that first question. I would love contributions in the meeting chat right now as well. And then I will be asking students in their opinion what you've said, yes, no, maybe in the middle. That's okay as well. Mr. Baker?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi. Mr. Bao?
Hi.
Hello. Lamchi, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Lei Kongzui? Lei Kongzui, are you here? Okay. Chan Kongzui?
Hi.
I can't see your camera on right now, sir. Please have it on for me. Kui? Kang Kui?
Hi.
Hello. Still can't see anything in the meeting chat here, guys. Mr. David Jones?
Hi.
Hello, Mr. David Jones. Where is your camera? Please have them turned on. Min Koi, hello. Min Koi? Oh, there you. Oh, sorry. You're not going to talk to me.
Yeah, hi. Anyway.
Hi. Okay, I can see Tuanan. You've just entered. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Lei Kongzui, are you here now as well? Please turn on your camera. Tuanan, we are going to be discussing that question again. If I could have you ready to discuss, you are welcome to write a response in the meeting chat as well.
All right. I see.
Thank you. Feng Mai, hello. Feng Mai, hello.
Here.
Hi. Nhật Minh.
Yeah.
Please turn on your camera for today, sir. Kami. There you are. Hello, Lei Kongzui. Nam.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, No. Hello, Ni.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, Ni.
Hi.
Hi. Mr. Sun. Hello. And Mr. Da.
Hello.
I can't see you, Da.
I'm currently like my house just shut down the wire or something. I'm using my the 3G, so I think I'll be able to use the camera.
Okay, well, please make sure you are ready to contribute as well. I'll just make a note of that. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay. So then, no one's wrote anything in our meeting chat for that question. So I will just then perhaps ask the students where you are standing at the moment. So this is our lesson 4 now, where you guys have understood. I'm not going to say all because there's a lot to learn about the involvement of Asia in World War I. What do we think then? Do we agree for the involvement of Asia in World War I? Yes or no? Ooh. You've got 5 seconds until I start saying names. Okay, I'm going to start with Miss Tuni then. Where are you on this at the moment? That's, you know, that's not a response, right? Are you in the middle? Are you a yes? No? Where do you stand? Or do you not have an opinion yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Why? Can I ask why? What do you think then? Do you think the contribution was big or quite small then?
I'm not really sure, but I think well, it did play an important role though. It like provides workers kind of like that.
What about thinking about it in long-term impact, like today? Do you think it was a good idea or not?
And I don't think so.
Okay, that's okay. Mr. Kyson.
I don't agree with the involvement of Asia in World War One.
Sorry, say that again.
I don't agree with the involvement of Asia in World War One.
Okay, could I ask you why?
So first of all, millions of Asians died in the war, and following that was reconstruction programs in the Asian colonies when the empires wanted to rehabilitate the economy, they have reconstruction programs, and therefore workers in these colonies had to work for 10 to 12 hours a day, which was too much for them.
Yes, that's it. Thank you very much, Kaisen. Okay, for this question, I'm moving on. Guys, please, can we make sure our cameras remain on? As I explained, today is our discussion, lesson, and reviewing as well. So what we're going to be covering in our lesson for today is, so it's our listening and our speaking, and we're going to be using different sources that we have acquired from this week, as well as just 1 or 2 minutes of listening that I will be giving to you, well, which I will be presenting to you as well in this lesson. And again, it's about us communicating with one another in the lesson. But how are we going to note this down? We are going to be using, I think you guys know now, it's my favorite, but we're going to be using Coggle, and I'll explain in a moment how we're going to do that. Okay, so our 3 learning questions that we've got for today, our 3 DOK questions are: how was Asia involved in the First World War? We've looked at this and we're going to be reviewing it. So this will be our first 10 to 15 minutes where we will review, we will be discussing this, and I would again ask you now to make sure you have your notes ready as well. Our second question, DOK, is how does the perspective of World War I in Asia differ? And what I mean by this is, how is it different to places like Europe and other, obviously other parts, continents that were involved as well? And it's this question that we are going to try and tie up into that homework of ours as well. And that's looking at the short-term and the long-term impact of World War I in Asia. Okay, so if you remember this, which I'm not sure if you do, can someone tell me what this is? Do you remember? Who did this? And what is it? Anne, what is it?
It's a mind map.
Okay, who did this mind map?
Me. And
Yeah. Okay, so this is that favorite app, right? Coggle. So if I'm honest, Anne, I'm going, hi, can you help me here as well? I know that some of us struggle to use this app, so I'm just asking for about 3 or 4 volunteers to be my scribers for this as well, as I want to create the same thing for this lesson. So if I have some volunteers, please can you raise your hand? I would really appreciate that, and obviously there'll be bonus points that go with it.
what is scribe?
Oh, Zui is like straight. Basic typing, taking notes, jotting down notes. Oh, I've got Koi, I've got Zui, Ha'an. Yeah, Ha'an. And if I have another, that would be perfect as well. Oh, I've got, thank you. Okay, so we're going to be producing the same thing, and I will send the link. And again, I'll be sharing my screen for you guys to see this as well. But then what I'm going to do, once we've done this by the end of the lesson, I'm going to have this saved for you as a PDF. And then you guys have a whole class worksheet that we've all worked on together to help you with that homework write-up as well as tomorrow's lesson. Okay, so a reminder of what we need. You need to have your notes open for this week, and please be ready. For me today, it's about hearing contributions. So I'm marking down how many times you're responding in this lesson. And I want to complete this Coggle map like I've asked you. And so thank you for the students who have volunteered. The more the merrier, I say. Okay, so just a quick review before we start exploring the first DOK. So if you remember in World War I, how it began, it was the Serbian nationalist and who was a student who assassinated Ferdinand. And he was the Austro-Hungarian Empire ruler. And this happened on the 28th of June, okay? And this is when Austria-Hungary declared the war on Serbia, whose allies were Russia. The alliance between Germany and Austria then prompted Germany to preemptively declare war on Russia, Serbia, and Russia's allies. Then Germany attacked France through Belgium, which activated that alliance between the United Kingdom and Belgium. And then the UK declared war on Germany and Austria-Hungary as well. So that's a quick reminder. So our DOK1 is, how was Asia involved in the First World War? Your task right now for me then, please, is to write down the main points. I'm going to play this. This is about 1 minute and 30 seconds. And you're going to consider how and why India got involved in World War I. You are then going to review this week's lesson. So I'm going to be asking you to have identified particular countries that we've looked at. So China, Philippines, maybe Singapore, and India as well. So how was Asia involved in the First World War? Okay, so please have notes ready to jot this down. We're not going on Kaggle just yet. I'm going to copy and paste this slide into the chat. Can you all please, for me to tell me that you are ready? Okay, can we heart, thumbs up, everything once you're ready, and I will press play, and I'd like you to take the notes. Des, I can see a lot of students, thank you, but I can see a lot of students have turned their cameras off. Please remember, when I turn the next slide, you need to have them on, okay? So right now, I'm looking at the meeting chat. Thank you, Lam Chi. Thank you, Sun, Bao, Nyap Ming, Baker, Lee, Zui. I have 9 students so far. Mr. Jones, where are you?
Here.
Did you like my chat? You know what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Right, I'm going to press play now then. It's only 2 minutes long. So this is discussing Southeast Asia, and in particular, the Indian Army that contributed to the First World War. It is discussing the reasoning for why as well. So please make sure you take those key points from this. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now. Guys, I still don't see I only see 9 students who have contributed, who have just put their hands, 12, 13, who else? I'm going to call you out now. Okay. Okay, I'm now going to press play. Please just confirm as well you can hear the sound.
Faction, the Indian Army.
Can we hear that?
Yep.
Great, okay. So this is 1 minute and 34.
Faction, the Indian Army. The First World War. When the war broke out in 1914, there was growing political unrest in India against British rule. Germany had even tried to stir up anti-British movements and rebellion. However, such fears were put to rest when India rallied to Britain's cause. It was believed that India's proposal of independence could best be served this way. Lord Kitchener had been commander-in-chief in India before the war and established an Indian army of 10 divisions. Indian troops were sent to the Western Front under British command in September 1914 and fought at the First Battle of Ypres. By 1915, they had sustained many casualties. As well as fighting on the Western Front, the Indian Army also fought at Mesopotamia, Gallipoli, Palestine, East Africa, and Egypt. 1.5 million Indians would volunteer for service in the Army, with 800,000 troops fighting in the war and 72,000 men killed. India was not rewarded with independence or self-government from British rule after the war, which would stimulate Mahatma Gandhi's independence movement further. Watch.
That's it.
That was it. That's how quick that one was. So what is the next task that I'd like you guys to do? As I instructed, I'll just put my slide up so you can see that again, but I have put the slide instructions in the meeting chat as well. So I'm now not going to talk, and I'm going to give you some of that time to find your notes, to summarize the main points from this video as well. So I want you to write down the main points from that listening, and I want you to go and find your listening, well, hopefully you have them right in front of you now, your listening notes and the reading materials. I want you to review that involvement of China and the Philippines. If you remember how Anne had mentioned quite a few examples yesterday as well. So it's about us going back to that and reviewing it. As I explained, please be ready to discuss. I am now going to give you 5 minutes to be ready and have your answers and your notes ready for this question. So please respond to this question. I'm also putting the link into the chat to help you, just in case within the 5 minutes you want to go back and listen to that again. Okay, so please make sure you're checking the meeting chat as I am asking you. If there's anyone who needs any help, please ask me. You have about 4 more minutes, or 3 more minutes, sorry. Feng Mai, are you here? Are you okay, Feng Mai?
Yeah. I
Okay,
was
great.
rewatching the video.
Sorry. Okay. Okay, guys, so even if you are taking notes still for this question, I'd like for us to now turn on our cameras and just be ready to respond. It's just about contributing here and helping one another out as well. So our first question, how was Asia involved in the First World War? Please turn on your cameras now and be ready to discuss. So can I ask, Leslie, you had your hand up first. Could I ask for you, are you here, Leslie? Leslie, are you here? Leslie? No? Okay. Han?
Sorry.
Oh,
Lag.
okay. Okay, thank you. Please, can you, Leslie, can you see the coggle, a link that
Yeah.
I've put in the chat? Would you start off by helping us out and scribing on that then? And then what I'll do is I'm going to leave the slide that I have on now. And then afterwards, I'm going to show the coggle and demonstrate, like show what you have scribed by listening to everyone's responses. Yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I am still waiting for students to turn on these cameras. It's taking too long here, guys. I am making notes of who's turning on cameras, who is not. Please, can we
Miss
make
Sar,
sure?
I cannot write anything on the Kaggle.
That's why you're not doing it, Donan. That's why
Am I
Zui
supposed
is.
to do it?
No, you're supposed to speak and contribute, and Zui is going to help us out by writing down everyone's answers.
Okay,
So
then I
he's
will
helping
wait
us
until my
out
turn.
here. Yeah, because I knew
Wait,
that it was stressing some of
get
you out.
some,
What,
Zach,
Zui? What?
Can I get some help?
Can you get some? Do you need someone else to help you scribe
Yeah.
with you? Who would like to help Zui?
Me.
Go for it then. Thank you, Gammi.
I just
You know
gotta
how to. You're
write
going to
long-
listen to, yeah, you're going to listen and just have everyone respond. And then we're going to do that for the second DOK and the third one. And hopefully we build up one big sheet. Guys, please, the rest of you, Mr. Nyap Ming. Thanks, Baker, you're here. I have not seen Nyap Ming's camera on at all. Da, I know you're having problems. Thank you, Zui, Mr. Jones as well. Okay, then. So, how was Asia involved in the First World War? I'd like to ask people, first of all, to put their hands up. Who would like to volunteer to contribute to this? If not, Ngok, please be ready. Oh, she can't hear me. Okay, Mr. Coy, could you help us on this one?
Yeah, so
Thank you so
in the
much.
video, so there were political unrest in India against Britain before the war, but however they joined the Allied force anyway, and they hope that the British will return them with independence and self-rule after their victory. But the Indians didn't get what they were promised, so they started to make further political actions, like they demand more self-rule and independence, I guess.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. So that's it. So India, exactly in the hope for what they were hoping, and then their involvement. There was something that they were trying to gain out of it, and that was their independence. They were fighting to not be colonized or ruled by the British and wanted to become independent for many, many years. And like the video said, Mahatma Gandhi as well, Mohandas Gandhi was one of those forefronters to try and do this, and thought that this would be perhaps one of the best ways to negotiate as well. What was the impact of that then? What was the impact of it? How many deaths were there, Tangan? Yes. How many?
75,000.
Okay. So many deaths occurring as well. Tangan, I'm going to ask you again now. So what about other countries' involvement? What about China or another country that was involved in Asia with First World War? How are they involved? No, Tangan?
She said we couldn't hear you.
Can she? Oh, we're gonna ask her. Are you good, Zui?
She's lagging.
Okay, what about Mr. Baker then? Can you respond to that question? Which other countries were involved and how were they involved in the First World War?
Well, there's obviously India, which the British took control of. There's Japan, which were Japan and Italy and Germany formed the enemies, and I think the Indochina region as well, like with France, Britain, America, Germany taking control of each island there. So therefore, they could use those troops to put to war rather than using their own troops.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Indochina, I know it's an obvious one. Give me some examples of what those countries are. Which countries are in the
There's
Indochina?
Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Vietnam.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Great, guys. Okay, so that was the first DOK. We're now going to move on to the second one. So Kami and Zui, I'm hoping that you're making quick notes of what was just said there as well. And if you guys obviously want to speak and contribute, that would be great. Okay, let's move on to that second DOK question then. And for the second DOK question, Lamchi, I really hope this is helping because I know, and David Jones as well, because I know you had.
Yeah.
I hope that this is helping you guys as well, because I know you've had a few lessons without this. So just let me know if you need me to clarify anything again. Okay, so World War One in China then. So China was in a constant period of unrest and turmoil after that Opium War that we looked at last week. And none of the new leaders and presidents could really consolidate their power in China, and a struggle between the different warlords broke out. So at the same time, China was eyeing a more prominent role with the international community and sent 150,000 workers to the Western Front as part of that Chinese labor corps that we understood from the reading and the listening as well of this week. Okay, so now we're going to review that question then. So this is our DOK2 question. And this listening actually is the one that you guys, and I've mentioned this one every day, I think. And it's the one to do with Southeast Asia and World War One. Okay, well, this video is like 11 minutes long, and you have all watched it before, but I'm just going to show 1 minute, and it's to help us to understand this question. So if you have not got the notes for this part, or if you perhaps forgot to do this, please can you make sure you're listening carefully? It's probably about 1.5 minutes of this listening, and it actually helps us to respond to this question as well. So how does the perspective of World War One in Asia differ? How is it different? What was the mindset here? How is it different during that time and now as well? So please identify particular examples from the listening as well as our notes that we've got from this week as well. In particular, India, China, Singapore, Japan as well. Okay, same thing, guys. I'm repeating this. So can we now just like that you've understood what's happening next, yeah? And the meeting chat. Perfect. So again, I'm going to ask you, there are some students who I've noted who have still not got cameras on, so I will be noting this down and just doing the full procedure again, because it takes me too long to keep asking students. So I'm just going to keep making a note of this as well. Okay. One person, thumbs up, great. Anybody else? If you're not sure what is happening, please just ask me. Ooh, sweet. Thank you so much. This looks really good, this coggle. Amazing, great. Okay, now I'm sharing my 14. Beautiful. Okay. Again, take notes, guys. This is going to be very useful for that write-up that you've got to get done, as well as for tomorrow as well. Let me just go back a little just to confirm you can hear the sound.
These ships just came in, they landed their soldiers, and they helped round up the rest of the regiment that was now hiding in the jungles.
Did you hear that? Hello?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Okay.
So here's a really important question to bring things together. How does the First World War look different when viewed from Southeast Asia? And why is it worth looking at the war from a perspective other than Europe?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's a question I really like to talk about a lot because so we have our images from World War I in Europe, right? We always think about the trenches, trench warfare, the blood, the massive environmental destruction, the loss of life, things like that. In Southeast Asia, it doesn't look like that at all. I mean, you have the submarine battles and the German prisoners and the mutiny and things like that, but you also have the fact that you have the European powers who were involved in the war automatically draws in all of the colonies that are involved. It disrupts all kinds of trade. There's almost no communication between the Dutch East Indies and the Netherlands for almost a year because the British actually end up being in command of all the sea lanes. Or there's places like Indochina that sends colonial troops, and that has an impact as well. I like to say that Southeast Asia didn't affect the outcome of the war on the Western Front, but that the war had a major impact all over Southeast Asia for all these other reasons, like we talked about with trade and people and alliances and things like that.
Heather, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Heather. What do we mean by the Western Front? What's the Western Front? Because I actually haven't mentioned that. But does anyone have an understanding of what the World War I Western Front is?
The battlefield, right?
Yeah. And where was this battlefield, Donan?
Europe, I guess.
Yeah.
Europe, of course.
Europe, exactly. And this is like the war of the, they know this as the war of the trenches, but we don't really look at this part because that's more heavily Europe. But this was the war of the trenches, and it was that Western Front, that part where the Belgium were trying to keep out, but then that's where there ended up being quite a big battle for land as well. And it was exactly that. They were sending the troops over, the Asian troops as well as the Western troops as well. So I need 2 more volunteers now, please, or whoever would like to volunteer to jump onto Coggle now. Who'd like to go onto Coggle now?
Excuse me, Miss Sat. I want to ask about the video. So there's one part they did mention that like the European countries, they draw their troops back to the Western Front, which means that at that time the Asian country did have like a short period of time of peace, right? Like it was completely, quiet, no wars, no nothing, no torture, because the European has withdrawn their troops back all the way to the Western Front.
Yeah, but that's occurring. Yeah, but that's occurring in Europe, right? But this is talking about what is then happening in Asia. Yeah, there wasn't as much perhaps like what you're talking about, violence or whatever, but there was definitely the buildup of what comes next.
Okay.
Yeah.
So peace.
I wouldn't use the word peace.
No,
like nothing's going on right now.
Nothing is going on, like just peace,
That's
not
it.
like peace out, like peace. You get my idea.
Okay, so Anne, could I ask for you to now go onto the Coggle for me, please?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so we're now responding to the next question. So how was Asia, sorry, no, not that question. How does the perspective of World War One in Asia differ? So I'd like for us to, can you, I don't know what you're looking at right now. Let me just share. Sorry. Could I ask for you to raise your hands, please? And again, cameras now need to be on to discuss this question together. So how does the perspective of World War One in Asia differ? Please turn on your cameras. Okay. Do I have a volunteer, please, to respond to this question? There are still a lot of students here who have not turned on their cameras. Okay, so let's ask Donan. Okay, and I can help you in breaking this question down as well. But how do you think, like, because exactly what you were explaining here as well, how does the perspective of World War One, their attitude, ideas, what they're thinking, mindset, everything, how is it different to perhaps the Europeans or any other countries that were part of World War One?
I would say less chaotic compared to the European at that time because, like, as I just said earlier, the Europeans, they did withdraw their troops back to the Western battlefield due to the current situation at that time. Another point is that they, in the video, they did mention about there was like a big disrupt of trading, of trades in that time, and due to the war, due to the World War I as well, and finally, what was that? They did mention two other things, but I did not remember.
That's okay. That was a really good contribution. Thank you so much. What about communication? How was communication? Hui, I can hear you talking. Are you talking to me? No? What about the communication side? What did the video mention about communication between Europe and Asia, certain countries?
I think it was disrupted too.
Yeah. Well, how was it disrupted exactly?
Like, I guess the British and the powers like the French or British, they censored the mails and diaries and stuff, kind of like that.
Okay, here I'm going to break this one down as well, Koi. I would like to ask you because it's kind of what we were talking about yesterday as well. But it's this mindset. What is the mindset of the European towards the Asians during this time? Are they considered as equals?
No.
They hated us.
What?
Was that Feng Mai? Who said that? No, right? Not at all. And that's definitely what we noticed. So that communication, they were not first priorities. It was only until Japan started to go, okay, we're going to make some moves. And then Germany started that then the Europeans went, oh, okay, we better go look after that part and get them all out and send ships over, etc. as well. So they were never a priority at first and were kind of there on waiting when when required, and to use the resources and anything that could have come out of this as well. Okay, we have 4 more minutes left, guys. Do we have any other contributions towards this question? Because I want to move on to the third one very quickly. Now, this one, there are no videos. This is about us contributing, and I am genuinely happy for you to add this into the meeting chat, and I will tell you why. I'm just going to jump my slide now ahead. So in this third part, I wanted us to think about as well, oh, sorry, the second question. I want you to make sure you understand like the individual countries and the impact it had on them as well. So this is about evaluating the short-term and the long-term impact of World War I in Asia. So what are the countries and the impact of World War I during that time? What about the relationship of different countries? For example, China, Japan, or other countries like the UK and India, for example. What impact did it have on that? Think about the impact on the political systems, the then, what the systems were from what we remember, to the now. And the impact on social system, the impact on the culture as well. What I would really like, this fulfill the dream, I hope, is we can all contribute. Oh, I'm gonna cry right now because someone's already doing it. Can we all contribute to that Kaggle? Because in that way, I can then copy that as a PDF and give it to you, and you guys have a worksheet full of information for the write-up. Okay, so if you can go onto Kaggle and contribute, please go onto Kaggle now, giving us the short-term and long-term impact of World War I in Asia. If you like Tuanan, for example, struggle with it. Sorry, that's not me. That's not a dig, Tuanan. Could you please write it for me in the meeting chat? And this will be our final part, guys. I really want to try and get as much as we can typed up on this. So please have our cameras on now and show that you are active. I have recorded this lesson as I really want to myself review it as well. And as I said, there's quite a few students here who are still not turning cameras on and who have not contributed as well. So this is your final chance, please. So either you type in the meeting chat or you go to Kaggle and you contribute there. Please put a thumbs up or a heart if you understand what I've asked of you. Beautiful. If anyone wants any extra bonus points from me right now, you can raise your hand and you can discuss some of the points for this question. For bonus points, please talk to me. Miss Anne, I would love for you to contribute in discussion. You always contribute.
Can I think for a few minutes and gather my thoughts?
Yeah, please, but it's 9:55. Mr. Zabao, can you think of any short-term, long-term impact on Asia? Miss Nee, what about you?
Thinking.
Okay, guys, I'm going to just give one more minute as we have gone over. Has anyone got anything that they would like to say about the short term and the long term, so we can just wrap up the lesson?
Short term death, long term. I'm not quite sure. I mean, well, it is a. I mean, the long term may be the cause to lead to the World War II because.
Yeah.
I think long term is that it set off the independence rebellions, revolutionaries in Southeast Asia specifically, and also India.
Yeah,
Also,
that's a good point.
in Vietnam at the time, the French were fighting when the French were fighting in World War I, and also the Japanese. Vietnam got itself out of the colonization of the French.
I like how Feng Mai's just come in with that perfect answer. Thank you so much. I will jot it down. You didn't put your camera on, but I thank you so much for that contribution. That was great. So if we could note that down on Coggle, I'm sorry, guys, I went 2 minutes over the lesson. So please remember, do not forget, guys, that we have got a homework that is due in for next lesson, and it is this one here. Discuss World War I's distinctive impact on Asia. Okay, I will save this Coggle that you have all made right now. I want to show it to you guys as well. This is beautiful looking. This is what you have produced. Thank you to the ones who have put notes on, but as you can see, we've got some really good mind map notes here now. So what I'll do is I'll save this as a PDF, and I will save this in that homework file as well for you to review. Bye guys, well done. Thank you, and thank you for your help, guys. Thank you for contributions. Bye guys, see you tomorrow.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Miss Hat. Hello, Miss Hat.
Hi, I can hear you, Zui.
Yeah. Well, am I getting plus points?
You are getting plus points. Plus points. And a high five. Here, give me a high five right now. Here. Bye, Z. Bye-bye, Hui. Bye-bye. Okay.